you're going to take us away on the first part of this? Russell, you're my DJ all-star, man. Why don't I hand it over to Russell Ramos? Thank you.
Hand it over to Russ. He's the man with the plan. So
there you go.
Oh, wow. Big intro, guys. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll kick it off. I'm going to share my screen if that's all right with everyone. And here we go. And if I can get a quick shout out, do you guys see the full screen or the presenter screen?
Presenter.
All right, swapping displays, full screen, presenter screen.
Oh.
Yes, thank you. See, cooperation, I love it. All right, so we got a jam-packed hour for everyone. I am so honored. I always enjoy being here, especially when Gary invites me. It's kind of hard to say no just because the Volutone fam has always been very good to us, and we hope to be just as good to them. So with that being said, my name is Russ. For those of you that don't know me, I've actually been at Sonos for almost, let's say, 4 years now. I'm the senior national trainer. I also do entertainment relations here at Sonos, based out here in Los Angeles with Carl. Carl, any quick intros for you before we get into it?
Yeah, so thanks, Russ. Yeah, I work closely with Russ. I'm on the account management side. I'm our senior account management account manager for the Western US here, the install solutions team for Sonos. So work very closely with Gary and team at Volutone, as well as Russ and with our direct dealers. So I'm looking forward to answering any questions you might have today and seeing any of you at any future events, but really excited to be here. And I think we have a great agenda for you. So I'm excited.
Thanks. If anyone has any hard-hitting questions, send them to Carl. Most of the tech questions, you can send them to me. Carl gets all the difficult ones. He is going to be helping out in the Q&A in the Zoom app as well. And also, if we do a Q&A at the end, the live session will answer those questions too. But in respect of time for everyone here, in respect of Lutron and Kate, we're going to get right into it. We have jam-packed 30 minutes for us here at Sonos. So if I do kind of begin to start talking quickly, I do apologize. There's just so much that we want to get into. Speaking of which, let's just dive right into it. Today's playlist here at Sonos, we're going to go over our mission, our authentic mission, what we feel is music anywhere. We're going to go over some of our speakers, of course, last but not least, control and Q&A. So with the first one, music anywhere, actually Sonos Mission, sorry about that. So our mission, if you've ever heard any Sonos employee talk about sound and sound experience, is that we always want folks to listen better. Every time we see someone with a iPhone, maybe an iPhone in a cup, inside our minds, we always think, oh man, they could do so much better than that. So part of this is listen better. We want to have everyone be able to listen to what they want, where they want, how you want. Also with quality sound too, brilliant sound. Those of you that have actually heard our speakers, we're really good for the size that it is. We're pretty impressive for the speaker size that we take in. And when I say listen in every room, we genuinely mean it. This whole presentation is about sound and lights and how we can marry them together and how they also compare too. Lutron's going to dive well into the lighting aspect of it, but if you consider sound just like lights, you might have that one area of the house that's a listening room, but what if you have the capabilities of having sound throughout the entire home? If you have a lamp in one corner of the home, only one corner of the home is going to get lit. But if you have lamps, shades, things like that, all throughout the home itself, you're surrounding it with control, you're surrounding with light. Same concept goes with audio. One big speaker may do it, but if you control and if you surround the home with sound, you're now just surrounded in all sorts of audio experience that makes your living better. And of course, here's a quick little touch base. There it is. Nice little animation there for you. Whether it's the living room, whether it is the bathroom, whether it's the bedroom, you'll be able to listen to what you want, where you want, how you want it, volume control in all aspects of the house itself. You can listen to one thing in one room, one thing in another room. You can listen to one thing in all of the rooms. So whether it's jazz, whether it's a podcast, whether it's an audiobook, you can listen to all of that. And of course, there might be a little delay on my end when it comes to PowerPoint. Apologies on that. But brilliant sound. There is no definition for brilliant sound, really. But what we mean by it is just modern sound, sound that you can feel, sound that is recognized as you start turning the volume up. You know, what we want to do is have the creators of audio the same output as they do in the studio, as close as possible, and replicating that within the home. And we also don't want to pigeonhole anyone into what they're listening to either. So you can stream all of your favorite tunes, no matter what the app is. We play with over 140 streaming services. I think last time I counted, yes, I counted, is 143 streaming services and partners that we do play with. That is also including commercial services as well. So there's a quick look at some of the heavy highlights. But let's dive into, you know, more little detail when it comes down to it. So in case no one ever knew, when Sonos is started first, it's usually radio. I think it accounts for about 50% of all Sonos listening. That's because it's free, and that's because it's usually automatically logged in. That's the first thing you listen to is going to be radio on Sonos. But then if we move to the left, you have your direct control. So if you're an iOS user, if you're using an iPhone and iPad, maybe a MacBook Pro, you can actually listen to your Apple devices directly. So any audio that you're pushing from your iOS devices can be pushed to Sonos. And of course, if you have your own library of music on a fat hard drive, you can listen to all of your music, all the music that you've purchased on Sonos as well. And of course, the tier that's probably going to be used most is going to be Spotify and Tidal and Apple Music. These are the paid programs. These are the programs that you pay. So this is what really unlocks the Sonos system, is the ability to listen to exactly what you want. Not an algorithm-based system, not a radio play system, really diving into what you want. And that's how you unlock the Sonos system. But let's not forget about the commercial sounds. This is kind of important because if you are a restaurant owner, if you're a bar owner, if you're a retail owner, you do get a different type of regulation when it comes down to music and audio listening in your business. So with that, these commercial services that we offer, and there's also more within the Sonos app. My favorites is actually Soundtrack Your Brand, Mood Mix. Canopy is also an interesting one too. They take care of all the licensing, all the back-end paperwork for you. So if ASCAP or BMI enters the building and they notice you're using any one of these commercial services, you're good. You won't get hit with any type of fine. For those of you that have ever gotten hit with a BMI or ASCAP fine, it's not fun. So if you are a business owner, restaurant owner, anything of the sort, and you need to use commercial services, you certainly can with Sonos. And we also have our own Sonos Radio. We launched it pretty recently, and this is now the flagship radio. This is where you can get all of your stations. When I say all of them, I really do mean it. So if you're in LA and you want to listen to something in Australia, you certainly can, because it's all internet based and you're not using any type of antenna. You can access radio stations from around the world. So my favorite thing actually is Triple J in Australia. They do this thing called Hot 100, and it's where I can actually get new music and new artists from, across. But we didn't stop there. It's not just radio stations. Us at Sonos, we are music obsessed heads. We really are. Every single, yeah, Carl will say it too. And Carl's going to chime in every now and then, mainly because sometimes I need a little coffee break. But we are very much music obsessed heads here at Sonos. Every single employee, it's just one of those things. So all the stations and all the playlists that we do create, as you can see on the screen right now, you've got Hip Hop Archive, Indie Gold, Alternative Energy, and Concert Hall. There's a whole lot more that we've done, but these stations are not algorithm based. They are actually curated from us here at Sonos, and it rotates as often as we can. So it's not something that's just, hey, you like this, let's add this in. No, this is all done personally by us at Sonos. And we listen to some of the comments, we listen to some of the suggestions of what we can do and how we can take Sonos Radio a bit further. And that's why we introduced Sonos Radio HD. It's going to be our premium tier radio station. It's $7.99 a month. There is a free trial available. I believe Gary does use it. I use it as well. I'm pretty sure Kate's going to get into it one day if she doesn't already. And this Sonos Radio HD is where we put all of our radio efforts in now. This is actually going to be high definition audio. And if you're wondering what the format is, it's actually, think of Tidal, not Tidal Masters, but Tidal Hi-Fi. It's on that level of quality. You get exclusive access to new Sonos Present stations with very intimate interviews and artist conversations, more genre stations. It's all ad-free, and you could skip and repeat songs as much as you want. Here's a quick preview of Sonos Radio HD. You've got more HD stations, but one of my favorites, and one of the things that actually helps us out, especially in the work from home environment, or maybe you are, working out and then you come home, it's just been a long day. I know during this pandemic, work has always just been long and sometimes a little stressful, and it's just, a little overwhelming at times. We now have sleep sounds that's mastered by us here at Sonos. We've worked with our partners to actually generate really good and authentic ways to help you sleep when it comes down to frequencies, when it comes down to tones. We utilize all our learnings for these sleep sounds at Sonos. Now, we've talked about radio. We talked about, our mission. Let's dive into some products real quick. If you've talked to anyone at Sonos as of late, as of yesterday, we're all a bit tired. We're all a bit, happy that it's finally out. That speaker on the top left is Sonos Rome. I've got one right over here. Sonos Rome is our first portable, ultra portable battery operated speaker in comparisons to Move. We're also going to quickly review Move, Sonos One, and Sonos 5 as well. So let's just dive right into it. Rome, here it is, our first ultra portable speaker for all your adventures on the go. It is IP67 rating. It's fully waterproof, so it can take a little bit more of a beating if you do drop it. What's not shown here is there's actually behind the grill, there is a honeycomb reinforcement grill. So it's a grill within a grill to withstand those drops. That way it doesn't ding or the grill when you drop it. So it is very much waterproof. I've done it myself. I don't suggest anyone doing that, but if it does drop, if it goes into the water, you're good. You can be submerged 1 meter up to 30 minutes. One new feature that we are releasing at Sonos is going to be sound swap. So if you are listening to music on your Rome and you actually press and hold the play pause button, what's happening is your Sonos speakers in the home are going to play an ultrasonic sound. I assure you, it cannot be heard by humans nor dogs, because we did get that question. And once it recognizes the closest speaker, it'll actually take that sound and swap it to that Sonos speaker. Sound swap. Taking a look at some product details here. You've got the top of the cap, which is where your microphone button is going to be, your microphone LED as well. You've got physical buttons. You also have the speaker status LED. Interesting thing, these buttons are not touch capacitive like Sonos Move. They are actually physical embossed buttons, easily to pinpoint if you don't even have to look at it, if you actually just feel positive or negative or play pause. It is all right there, ease of control. It does have a USB-C port, and the USB-C cable, charging cable, is included as well. Diving into Sonos Move, you know it, it's our flagship portable. This is our big sound. This is going from the kitchen to the backyard. Maybe you need to go take it somewhere where you need a little bit bigger sound than Sonos Rome. Sonos Move is where it's at. Sonos Move has touch capacitive controls on the top. You also have your LED indicator on the top, whether it'll tell you it's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Blue indicating for Bluetooth, white indicating for Wi-Fi. You have battery indicator at the bottom as well. Sonos Move does come with the charging dock. I call it the charging halo. It is included in the box. It's also a fast charger as well. Sonos Move, taking a look at the back, you have your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth button. It is not like Rome. Sonos Rome can do Wi-Fi and Bluetooth at the same time automatically, versus Sonos Move does have that button. So you can choose between Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. The power button is also there if you actually take it to a deep sleep to conserve battery life as you travel from the home to your adventure. And you have your join and sync button. That join and sync button is most likely going to have to be used once, and it just syncs Sonos Move to the Sonos system. In the home, the big boy, Sonos 5. It is our flagship hi-fi bookshelf speaker. Can be used in one, can be used in two, in stereo. And this is where the really purist is going to go to. But the Sonos One is also our Mini but mighty speaker is also one of our smart speakers with voice assistants built in. Sonos One SL is actually going to be the other brother of the Sonos One. It is basically the Sonos One without microphones. Our privacy speaker is what I like to call it. That was a quick overview on our Sonos all-in-one music products. Let's dive into some home theater. So home theater portfolio is very large. Just kidding. We only have 3. Make it easy. Sonos Arc is our flagship premium soundbar. But what makes it premium? What makes it flagship? It's going to be the first time we introduce Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos allows us allows the creators to actually pinpoint sounds to where you need it to be. So the days of, let's say, you know, surround left, surround right, rear, front right, front left, front center, that's traditional Dolby. But when you dive into Atmos, you now can get those sounds coming above, whether it's a helicopter, whether it's rain, whether it's explosions, whether it's little tidbits just creepy crawly up in the air. You can have that ability with Dolby Atmos. But we go one step further. We want to make sure it sounds right. And that's because we tune it to perfection with TruePlay. TruePlay allows us to kind of calibrate the speakers to where the room is. Every speaker is customized and personalized to the room once you TruePlay it. What it's recognizing is your materials of the room itself, whether it's hardwood floors, carpets, maybe you live in a loft with a lot of concrete. Sound's going to bounce differently in different rooms, and TruePlay allows us to really kind of hone that down and minimize the bad frequencies, kind of just tune it to the space itself, because my kitchen's going to be different than yours, my living room's going to be different than yours, my bedroom's going to be different than yours. Sound bounces differently, and we want to make sure it sounds right. Another step forward when it comes down to tuning that sound is phased array. Really quickly, phased array is like noise canceling headphones. So what we do is on the right side, if we're playing something and it's so going far off to the surround right, we play the inverse sound on the left side to kind of really get that pure and realistic surround effect. Phased array. But we also do it on the upwards. So the 2 Atmos drivers that go up are up firing waveguides are physical waveguides in the unit that actually make sure the sound goes up and doesn't flood out into the room and just up. And what I mean by that, if you take a look at the exploded view is going to show you that it is actually recessed a bit. The 2 Atmos drivers are recessed a bit that fires upwards to make sure the sound goes up. There's 11 drivers, 11 D-class amplifiers built into Sonos Arc. And another fun fact too, if you are listening to just regular Dolby Digital 5.1, those Atmos drivers, the 2 on the top, are actually used to support your regular 5.1. So they're still active, but they're going to help out on the low end and the low mid-range frequencies as well. Sonos Arc is also mountable. That mount is sold separately. There are also sensors too with that mount. So once Sonos Arc is mounted by using the Sonos Arc mount, it'll actually temper down the bass resonance so you don't get too much rattle on the wall. And of course, just like Sonos fashion, we're like the Legos of speakers. You can easily expand with your Sonos system, whether it is adding in surrounds 6 months later, maybe 3 months later, you want to add in sub. Maybe you want to change out your rears. You can do that anytime. We're not going to hold you to it. So maybe you want Sonos 1s. Maybe you decide to upgrade 6 months down the line, get Sonos 5s for your rears. It's all done wirelessly. It's all done through our app. Speaking of wirelessly, Wi-Fi is how Sonos Arc is connected, just like the rest of Sonos products, minus a couple of our portable ones that use Bluetooth as well. But by using Wi-Fi, you can actually stream from your iOS device by using AirPlay too. And of course, there's an IR repeater in the front. So any IR remote control you want to use to control volume, you can use it, whether it's a cable box remote, Apple TV remote, whether it is your regular TV remote, whether it's a universal remote control with IR, you can do that and control it with Sonos Arc. Another way of controlling is also by using your voice. I am not going to say the words to trigger any of the speakers in your home, but you know what they are, Google and Amazon. We're not going to make you pick an Amazon version of Sonos Arc. We're not going to make you pick a Google version of Sonos Arc. We are more so just going to have you change it in the app. So, 6 months down the line, if you don't want to use Google anymore and you want to use Amazon, you could do that as well. That was a quick overview of Sonos Arc. Let's go into some of the other Sonos home theater products. We have Sonos Beam. It is our mini but premium and very wide soundstage soundbar. It is our smaller one. It does not have the same drivers as Sonos Arc. In case anyone didn't know, there's about 4 full range woofers built into it. Also a dedicated center channel tweeter for those crisp dialogue. And it was so small that we couldn't necessarily add in actual low-end drivers. So we did the next best thing in order for us to get a little bit more bass into it. We added in passive bass radiators, 2 in the front and 1 in the back. And of course, if you take a look at the back of Sonos Beam, it's a complicated setup. Just kidding. It's just one cable to connect it. There's also an Ethernet cable as well. There's your power cable and also a join button. And the built-in heatsink in the back does allow us to get a little bit more with the integrated antenna, better on the wireless. So we talked about our 2 sound bars. Let's dive into some low-end bass. And that's with Sub. We're in a 3rd iteration of Sonos Sub right now. It's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The design has been one of the most interesting designs in all of Sub history. It does have a join and connection button on the side. That's the only button you'll see on it. And the hidden power connector in the back is recessed, so it hides it. It can be placed in 2 orientations. It can be placed upright, as you see, but you can also lay it down and kind of tuck it underneath a couch if you really wanted to. Sub is a great addition to your home theater, whether you're using Sonos Arc, maybe even for music with 2 stereo pairs of either Sonos 1s or Sonos 5s. Or even if you're using it with Sonos Amp for those custom installs. Sub is a great addition, but wouldn't it be better if you had 2? Well, we listened. If only I had $1 for every time that was requested. Dual Sub is here, and software version 12.2.2. And with Dual Sub, you can now add in a second wireless sub to your home theater setup. I'll say it again, home theater setup. So whether you're using Sonos Amp, whether you're using Beam, whether you're using Arc, Play Bar, even Play Bass, you can use Dual Sub with even our older home theater systems as well. It's great to really fill in larger rooms, or if you just really want to double the bass, it's there for you. A software update for free. We finally added in there for you. Hitting home now. Here we go. Continuity of control. With Sonos, there's many ways you can control it. So it's not just our Sonos app, even though that's where everything starts off. We're going to go over these ways to control: direct, touch, voice, and partner control as well. So our app is where it all starts. That's how you set up the Sonos speakers. That's how you integrate your music services in the Sonos app. That's how you tune the speakers. That's how you control the EQ. That's how you group the speakers. And that's also how you do multi-room volume as well. But for instances, if you do not have the Sonos app, maybe you have a guest that comes over, there's also direct control. So as long as they're on your Wi-Fi, customers can actually control their own dedicated streaming apps, whether it's Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, and they don't have to bounce between the Sonos and the Spotify, the Sonos and the Tidal. They actually can choose the speakers and play directly through those apps as well. Another way, physical touch control. Let's say you're walking by the speaker and then you just want to quickly turn it down or turn it up, play, pause, track forwards or track backwards. You can do that with all of our speakers. And if you hear a siren in the background, it's the perks of living in downtown LA. But we also have voice control too. Don't forget voice control partners, whether it's Amazon or whether it's Google. You can use your voice to trigger music. It's a great way of kind of freeing your hands and freeing your arms. I know the biggest thing I use it for is when I go home, I actually have a scene set where it says, hey, I'm home. Lights turn on, thermostat goes to a certain temperature, shades go up, and then I have a special playlist for when I get home, just something nice and relaxing. And don't forget about partner control. There are many ways to control with all of our partners, whether it's, URC, Savant, Control 4, Crestron. But today we're here with our good friends at Lutron. So we're going to talk a little bit about Lutron. I won't steal Kate's thunder. She's going to do all of the Lutron stuff, and she's got some new information too with Lutron. I'm excited to hear what's coming up. But if you are a Lutron user, you can control your music. There is actually special Pico remotes, the audio Picos, where you can play, pause, skip tracks. You can also cycle through your favorites, control your volume, and even also set some custom scenes as well. Taking a look at the Lutron app right over here, You can use your keypad to control audio with Sonos. You can also create scenes. And that's one of my favorite things is doing this automation. And it's just so easy to create these scenes, a nice DIY kind of feature. But it does play with Sonos very, very well. Creating scenes is very easy, and controlling your shades, the temperature, your lights, all through this one app. Seamless, very easy to use. It's one of my favorite things. I know we are running almost there. I try to be on time, but really quickly, let's go through a little bit of a recap. So, us at Sonos, we're great sound. It's an easy experience. It's a premium design. It's a freedom of choice. So we don't pigeonhole you to one service or one voice assistant or one speaker. There are many ways to get Sonos in the home, and it all works together. And of course, you have support from us at Sonos. We do listen to this channel very much. Of course, there are things that we want to do quickly, but there are things that you, the end user, and you, the installer, that have suggested that we've listened to and that we've implemented in a relatively quick time as well. Carl, that's going to be it for me. Gary, that's also going to be it for me.
Awesome.
Hopefully people learn something, maybe a quick thing.
Totally exciting. I loved how you dovetailed, and we'll get Kate in here. Kate, maybe you could start sharing your screen and get ready for your presentation. Carl, I know that you were answering some questions in the back end. What did you feel? CI guys wanting things, you know, integration is the big topic. So what do you think?
Yeah, just a lot of good questions. It is the big topic. I think there's some questions, obviously, I won't have answers to, but I do appreciate all of them. Yeah, it's just exciting stuff. I mean, like some questions around Rome, some stuff around dual sub. We have a lot going on. So, you know, continue to fire those questions over, and Russ and I will manage that Q&A as they come over.
Well, again, you guys, I love the partnership with Sonos is undeniable. Just walk into any of our SnapAV Pro stores and you'll see it. I would like to consider us as being an expert, not to your guys' level, but it's all about confidence. But I'll tell you, you know, being an audio person myself, I mean, I've got a recording studio down the hall, but my audio choice for my living space is Sonos. Undeniable. I don't care, from Zeppelin to Kanye. It sounds the best. All right. And so I'm a true believer, and it is super easy, but it integrates so well. And Kate, I love seeing that that Pico and doing scenes. How well versed are you in that? And what's your daily experience with guys with audio and having Lutron control it?
I have so many great feedback from all my customers about Lutron Sonos combination. Guys love it. I have not heard any problems with it. Fingers crossed. Let me know if you guys do have anything like that. But what you hear time and time again about both Sonos and Lutron is that we just work. So it makes sense, a lot of sense why we have such a great partnership.
Hey, Gary, I do have one more plug in. I'm looking at some of the questions here, and I'm going to selfishly plug in. We do have a Sonos training festival that's actually coming in next week. We'll get you all those details. But one thing that might be enticing to a lot of dealers and integrators is that we have a very special guest that's coming through. His name is Benji Rappaport. You know Benji. He will be having a nice sit down with us in a conversation. So if dealers want to talk to him, if they know who he is, he's high up in there. He's a product manager for this channel specifically. Okay. So hardware and software. So all those questions about control, about automation, about our partners, I do think that they should join that webinar session.
Definitely. All right. So I have all the assets, and I already put them on not only our SnapAV Pro Stores event section, but I also saw it on Snaps as well. This is what I'm going to do, guys. So we're at the halfway point. We're just about to get Kate here up on stage. But everybody's going to receive an email. All registrants are going to get an email from me with the slide decks, recording of this as well, and those links to your awesome trainings coming up, Russell. So we'll make sure definitely we can continue the conversation. And again, just last plug for us, we're back here in about 4.5 hours. We're going to do this 2 p.m. West Coast again. So please, you don't have to take pictures of the stuff. I'm going to submit everything back to you guys, but please join us, or have one of your team members join us a little bit later on this afternoon, because this is Sonos Lutron Day. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Kate Sullivan. There you go, girl. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm Kate Sullivan, like Gary said. I'm sure if you've ever come to a value tone training in the last 2 years that have been about Lutron, I have been there. I miss seeing you guys all in person. Gary and I were just talking about how Volutel March Madness last year was the last in-person training we all got to go to. So I'm really looking forward to whenever we're able to do this all again. But here's my contact information. Even if you guys are not based in California, write it down. I can connect you with who your person is in your area. So with that, let's get into this. Maybe, there we go. Okay, so if any of you guys have not sat through one of my presentations before, I just want to give you a little brief background on Lutron itself. Lutron was created back in 1959 by Mr. Joel Spira. He created the first solid state dimmer. So before Mr. Spira, dimmers were these massive metal things that went in coat rooms and theaters and put off a ton of heat. So Mr. Spira broke this technology down and created the solid state rotary dimmer. If you guys have seen that before, I know I still have one in my parents' house in their dining room. So if I have seen one, you guys have probably seen it too. And we actually just brought back that design into a newer dimmer as well. So always trying to innovate, and if, like Russ said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So little background, here is your California team. I know you guys are based everywhere. So like I said before, if you do not know who is in your area, let me know. I can connect you with both your rep and your Lutron agent. So if any of you guys have been to a California training before, you've probably seen Western or Neil Lighting as our rep firms. So if you guys want to be connected to your rep firms as well, I can let you know who those are as well. All right. So I think I was talking about how Lutron has really helped throughout the pandemic and has really innovated and changed a little bit for the better. So Lutron has 5 principles, and they are take care of the customer, take care of the company, take care of the people, so on. And we really do hold true to this. We really do talk about this in every single meeting, how we can take care of the customer. We do have 24/7 tech support. If any of you guys have ever called in before, we are there all the time. And we're based in either Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, or Vegas for our tech support. They're really fantastic. They have the systems built out in front of them. They can push the buttons with you guys as you're going through your issues. Call them at 3 a.m. They're going to be there ready and really willing to talk to you at that time. We also have over 17,000 products with 2,700 patents. So if you guys ever are questioning if we have a product, let us know. We can help you find it. We can help you find the right color for your customers. We all know that a lot of homeowners are very picky about their colors, and we do have a lot of options like that. And we innovate with high quality products. Throughout the pandemic, we have released several new products, which I'm going to go into today. So we really do try to stick to these principles and really be the best for you guys as possible. So I wanted to show you guys who our alliances are. We really do try to play nice in the sandbox with everyone. Sonos obviously is one of our best alliances, and I will go into that a little bit more on how we integrate with them. But we do have a really large list of integrators. So here's all of our consumer alliances. And then we also have professional alliances. And I know that a lot of you guys already buy these through Value Tone, URC, things like that. It's really awesome. If you guys do not know if we integrate with another company, reach out to us. We have a massive list of the ones that we do integrate with. And if there is one that you really want us to integrate with and we don't already, let us know. We love hearing those suggestions, and that's how we create new alliances. All right. If any of you guys have not been to a Lutron presentation before, you have not seen this pyramid, but if you have been to a Lutron presentation, I'm sorry, you've probably seen this period 5 times. But it really does hit home on where Lutron stands in the market. So we have a solution for any type of home. There is a huge market available for you guys. Any home, basically, we have a solution that it can go into. So the first solution I want to talk to you guys about is Lutron Caseta. So Lutron Caseta can be broken down into a line of simple, affordable, and reliable products. I know, sounds super gimmicky, but it really does work. So Caseta is one of our newest solutions. We released it probably less than 7 years ago now. And it's a family of lamp dimmers, in-wall dimmers, smart home switches, fan controls, things like that. So if any of you guys have not sat through one of my Caseta presentations before, Caseta is a really simple solution. I have it in my own apartment right now, and it really does work for 75 devices, up to 75 devices in a system of your dimmers, shades, Picos, things like that. It can fit into a home up to about 2,500 square feet. And we have added a couple of really awesome new products to it. So let me go into that. So to be able to control your Caseta system, you're going to need a smart bridge. So that is the little brain of the system. It's about the size of a hockey puck. You can hide it anywhere you want. Caseta does come in the white bridges. So if you guys are ever questioning which bridge you have, white is for Caseta. I do recommend that any of you guys who are professional installers to go with our Smart Bridge Pro, because that is where you get our professional alliances to be able to work with it. So Control 4, URC, RTI, Savant, those all work with a Pro bridge, but not the normal bridge. So make sure you know that while you're shopping. One thing to note is that we do have our own proprietary network. So if any of you guys have ever wondered, are we Wi-Fi, are we Bluetooth, how do our switches and dimmers connect to our system? We actually have something called Clear Connect, and it means that we work on 434 megahertz. Doesn't matter, you don't need to remember that. You just need to remember that we just work. So we really do not have anything else really on that network, which means that as soon as you hit a button on your dimmer, it will connect to your bridge and it will work instantly. So I talked a little bit about our control options. So I did want to show you, we do have a family of both dimmers, switches, and lamp dimmers. The lamp dimmers have become one of the most popular things for apartments recently. A lot of apartments don't have overhead lighting, and so these little lamp dimmers can just be plugged in your outlet, plug 2 lamps on the sides of it, and then you have lighting control. I actually have 3 of them in my apartment right now. And you can connect it with a Pico, which we've talked about before, and you can be able to control it anywhere. Those are also really, really great for holiday lights. If you guys have a Christmas tree, you can just plug one of those in and you don't have to crawl behind the tree all the time like I normally have to. So it's a really awesome family line. If you guys have any questions about how any of these work, let me know. There is no special wiring with it. I know that can freak some people out sometimes. No special wiring, nothing crazy going on in your wall box. One of the newest additions to our Caseta family is our fan control. So this was one of the most highly requested devices in Caseta, and we released it a little bit over a year ago. So it is a 4-speed fan control, and it only works on dumb fans. So what I mean by that is that it only works on fans with a pull chain and no remote control already into it. So this is how you use it. Single fan, neutral is required. And if you gang it with other dimmers or switches, you can't durate it. So if any of you guys have questions about that, let me know. Call into our tech support. They're always super happy to talk to you guys. All right, so these are the newest devices in Caseta. Some of these just came out this year. I really wanted to take some time to highlight some of these things that we have added. So the first thing is our new smart sensors. So we do have both occupancy and vacancy for our California folks that have to do Title 24. And they all come in this wall mount solution that you can see on the left. So those will make you Title 24 compliant. The next one is on the far right, and is our auxiliary repeater. That is one that I am most excited about. So this auxiliary repeater gives you the option to have more square footage in your system. So it adds another 30-60 rule, which is our rule for our devices. So anything that is within 30 feet through construction or 60 feet line of sight can work with our bridge. So this adds another huge pocket of square footage. To note, that does not add devices though. So still a max of 75 devices. And finally, our next and newest solution, which I am so excited about, is our outdoor plug. So this was just released earlier this year and is not even on the market yet, but I did want to give you guys a little sneak peek on it. It is our outdoor plug. So I'm really excited about it. I'm actually going to add one into my patio for my lights. And again, and launching into March, and Volume will obviously be one of the first people to have it on their shelves. They always get a sneak peek of everything. So look for that, hopefully by the end of the March. All right, our next product line that we're going to talk about is Raw 2 Select. So the reason everyone in Lutron normally does Raw 2 Select and Caseta together is because they're really similar systems and work on the same app. So Raw 2 Select is really easy to use, really easy to set up. So you can design a system in 3 easy steps. So first, you pick the main repeater, which there's only one option for that, so no confusion on there. Then you pick your devices between your dimmers, your fan controls, your plugs, and then you pick your Picos, which are my favorite part. So let's get into it. So one main repeater per system. You can have up to 100 devices on a repeater. So again, Caseta is 75 devices, Raw 2 Select is 100 devices, and you can have up to 4 wireless repeaters. So that means that you can have a much larger square footage for Raw 2 Select than you can for Caseta. And so for these repeaters, you only need power. You don't need Ethernet. And these prices are list price, by the way. So don't be confused about that part. The next is that you will pick your devices. So we have a much larger product line for Raw 2 Select than Caseta. Raw 2 Select is more of a professional system than Caseta is. Caseta is sold to consumers. So we have dimmers and switches, which we did just release within the last, year and a half now, is a Lutron Pro dimmer for this. So it means it works with all of the lighting loads. So LED, ELV, MLV, incandescent halogen. So it's a really great option. Took out a lot of confusion that some of our customers had before in selecting the right dimmer for their system. We also have plug-in appliance modules, which I love. You can put your coffee makers on them. You can put little Johnny's Xbox on there. You know, if you want to have a bedtime turn off the Xbox, things like that. We also have our tabletop lamp dimmers and plug-in dimming modules for all of your lamps. The other thing I really want to point out that you can see are these Lmj modules. So these are really, really fantastic to add other things into your systems than just lighting control. So we have a soft switch relay module, which means you can put things like fountains on it, gates, stuff like that. Sorry if that's a little crazy. I'm in California, people do crazy things here, but that's what I see those used mostly for. And then we also have a 0 to 10 volt dimming module. Finally, we also have wireless sensors in Raw 2 Select. So we have both the hockey puck one that goes on your ceiling, and then we have another one that goes wall mounted. So again, those are Title 24 compliant for my California people. Next, we have Picos, which if any of you guys have never seen one of our presentations before, Picos are my favorite part. They really add a lot of control to your house. So I have a 800 square foot apartment in California. I have, I think, 10 Picos in there. It's insane. I love putting them everywhere. So in Raw 2 Select, we have these pre-engraved Picos. We didn't just, come up with these engravings out of nowhere. These are the most commonly asked for engravings for our custom engraving department. So we have an entryway, kitchen, family room, and these are really great for your scenes. I know that Russ mentioned scenes a couple times. If any of you guys don't know what a scene is, say you walk into your house and you want to have a welcome scene. So you say welcome to one of your voice control devices, or you push a button and all of a sudden your lights will come on to a pre-decided level, your shades will go up to a pre-decided level, and even your music can come on through your Sonos. So those are really great options with our Picos. And obviously you have the audio Pico at the bottom here, and the battery life on these is 10 years, by the way. So I know that can be a little bit of a wary point for a lot of our customers is battery operated anything, but it is 10-year battery. And if you manage to keep one of these things for 10 years, I am very impressed. Reach out to me, I'll send you a new one. We have a couple of mounting options for them. You can put them in a pedestal, so that can just sit on your coffee table or on your entryway table, whatever you guys please. You can wall mount it so it looks like a normal switch on your wall. I know I have a couple of those in here. And you can also have a visor clip if you want to put it in your car. All right, so the Lutron app. People get really wary of technology. So here is the Lutron app. Here's a little screenshot of it. It is really easy to use, guys. I'm not just saying that because I work for Lutron. If you can play a game on your smartphone, you can use our app. It's really intuitive. We take you through step-by-step of adding devices, pictures that look exactly like our devices, everything that we can do to be helpful for you guys. So with this app, you will obviously need the smart bridge to make it work. So you can schedule your lights. So if you leave the home at the same time every day, you can have your lights turn off or turn on when you leave. If you want to wake up to daylight, you can have your shades go up at a specific time, really cool things like that. You can create scenes in these, which is awesome. I know I have a movie time scene, so all of my lights dim down to the right level for the movies. It is a free app in both the Google and Apple store, and on your iPad, you can have it as well. At the top right, you can see our newest addition to the Lutron app is that you can now do multiple residences. So this was a really big ask for, so you can now have, I believe, up to 10 homes on this device, on one app. So really awesome addition, just added it 2 years ago at our CEDIA event. All right, the partnership you guys all came for is Lutron and Sonos. So I know that Russ's slides look way prettier than mine do, but this does the trick. So with Lutron and Sonos, you can control a single Sonos speaker or an entire group with one Pico remote. It gives you a lot of flexibility on how you want to control your system. The favorite button, so the center button on your Pico, will rotate through your favorite stations. It works with all of the Sonos devices, all the Sonos speakers. You can add a Sonos to any scene, and you can trigger scenes through app, Picos, voice control, or geofencing with Sonos. So it's really fantastic. One of our closest partnerships. We love working with them. I know that Russ made a joke about me not coming over to the Sonos side yet, but I think it's the year to finally get a Sonos speaker so I can finally get to see the awesomeness that you guys see every day with your customers. All right.
You don't have a Sonos speaker, Kate?
I know, you yell at me every time.
What?
I think this is the opportunity.
Oh yeah,
No,
we gotta do something about that.
You guys yell at me every single time I do this presentation. Chris yelled at me last time too. I know, it happens every time.
We gotta fix that. We gotta fix that.
I know. It's the year. I just moved into a new apartment. I'm tricking it out right now, so it's on the list.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Carl.
Help me out, guys.
We'll see what we can do.
Here is the breakdown of Caseta versus Rachi Select. Just a quick breakdown to show you guys the difference. So Caseta, up to 75 devices, only one additional repeater. There is a limited color choices. So on the dimmers and switches, there's only 4 color options. But you also get the new outdoor plug on Caseta. Super cool. Like I said, being released end of March. Rachi Select, you get 100 devices on it, 4 main repeaters, and another really awesome thing about the Rachi Select devices is that you can change the front plastics. So if you have a homeowner and they watch way too much HGTV like I do, and they say, you know what, white doesn't do it anymore for me, I need everything gray, you can just pop out those front plastics on the dimmers and pop in the gray ones instead of having to take out an entire dimmer and put in a new one. There is also an upgrade path to Radio Raw 2, which I will go over quickly as well. So Caseta, if you hit your 75 devices and your square footage maximums, then you would have to take everything out and upgrade to Raw 2 Select. So that is why Raw 2 Select is a really awesome product, because then you can just upgrade to the next level system without having to take anything out. So what is holding you back? These are a lot of objections I get from our customers, from some of our new installers. I kind of wanted to show you some of the things that we see and the solutions to it. So everyone is so worried about complicated programming. And so it's a really simple app, like I showed you guys before. If you guys can use a game on your smartphone, you guys can use our app. Previously, people were really worried about the system design and picking the right dimmer for the right application. Like I said, we just released this Pro dimmer. Some of our people call it a unicorn dimmer. because it really does work with the most light options on the market. Like I said, ELV, MLV, LED, incandescent halogen CFLs. So it works with everything. Price objection is one of the huge ones. So we really do talk about selling based off the benefits and the experiences. So if you guys run across a job and you need help selling this, let us know. I keep saying, you know, reach out to me if you don't know who your local person is. Reach out. That's our job. We want to help you guys sell your jobs and grow your businesses, and that's what we're there for. So we can help you through this. Technology can be complicated. It's a professional setup, DIY modifications. That's why we have you guys. That's why we train you guys to be able to do these systems. And then obviously the next one is big box and online competition. Raw2 Select is pro channel only product. So Raw2 Select sold through Value Tone. You can even get our awesome overseas bridge through that as well. All right, I'm going to quickly go through Radio Rod 2 because I know that we are running out of time. I just want to show you guys what the next step is if you've already gone through Caseta and Raw2 Select and it's just not meeting the specifications of your projects, or you know you want to add a little more to your repertoire. So Radio Rod 2 is one of our seasoned product lines, and it really does have a lot more options for you guys. So we have more color options, larger square footage. You can have up to 200 devices on a Radio Rod 2 system. Unlike Raw2 Select, you can only have 100. You have more keypad options with custom engraving. You have sensors, temperature controls, all of our shade products. It is a really great option for a lot of homes. If any of you guys want to come to a training or have questions about it, please let us know. And if you're already level 1 certified with Rod 2, the level 2 courses are now happening about once a month. So if you guys are looking for any of those, we are still holding them virtually. And it's a really great training course that we had to completely revamp for the pandemic. So, but it's going awesome. Finally, shades. So I know that our custom integrators always ask about shades. It is an amazing way to build your business is by adding in shades. If any of your current customers are looking for shades, have you reached out to your rep firm? Again, if you guys don't know who your rep firm is, let me know. I can connect you with them. You can take our 2-day Shade Essentials course, which is hosted bi-monthly. So the next one is in May, and it's a really awesome course. You will get to sit with our training team, and you will get to actually install some shades. So we make sure you guys know what you're doing. Included in this course, you guys will get honeycomb, roller shades, triathlon wider, which is a 12-foot by 12-foot shade, straight drapery tracks, and every single fabric line. So it's a really awesome course. If you guys have been thinking about shades or don't really know anything about it, reach out to us and we can give you some more information. Last but not least, Gary knows this is my favorite part, Lutron Pro. So Lutron Pro is our free rewards program. And if you guys are installing Lutron, you should be a Lutron Pro. It is, again, a free program. You just need to give us an invoice from SnapAV that says that you have bought a Caseta Raw 2 or Raw 2 Select system in the last year, and we will get you signed up. So the benefits of this program is you will get an extended year warranty on any system you install as a Lutron Pro. You get points for every system you install. So with those points, you can get things like swag for your truck, shirts, new products. So we have main repeaters on there, dimmers, stuff like that. You get listed on our Where to Buy website. So that's free marketing to you guys. It's a website where you can just go in as a homeowner, type in your zip code, and up pops our Lutron Pros. Finally, exclusive promotions. So we just ran one actually where if you install the Caseta or Raw 2 Select system, you would get a free Ring doorbell. And that is actually one of our newest integrators. So if you guys have any questions or want to sign up, you can see the website below, and it's super easy process to do. All right. And I am exactly on time.
Way to go. You guys have been ultra pro, you guys. This is awesome. Kate, thank you so much. I know there's so much to go through with Lutron, the different levels and so forth. Hey, really quick, and we do go over the pro portal and want everybody to sign up on that. So if a guy signs up, he did a system and didn't get the invoice to you, is that retroactive, or how far back do we go?
So an invoice has to be within the last year, but if they have already submitted an application and it was like a wrong invoice, something like that, then we can actually go back in and change that and fix it for you guys. So if any of you guys have an outstanding application, let me know and I can go in and see what was going on with it.
Great. I'll have that link on tonight's email, guys. Hey, Kate, there's a more than a few questions here. Let's kind of go through that. You have access to that? Maybe.
I am. Okay. So can we install 2 bridges at one residence, i.e. main house and guest house? So if you had a main house and a guest house, that probably means that they're too far away from each other to use Caseta or Raw 2 Select on that. That is definitely where I would recommend going up to Radio Raw 2, because those you can actually wire the main repeaters together. So that's what I would suggest. Palmer, if you actually have a job with that, let us know and we can help you walk through and see the square footage between them, things like that. We can help you figure out the best solution. Okay. Pro work with Elk. I think you're asking if that is one of our integrators, and yes, it is. Which
we've carried as well. Good question there, Michael. Yeah, I want to pull that page up actually, because I want everybody to be very familiar with all of the participants there for sure.
Yep. Palmer asked again, can we install a Caseta system in a home with Radio Raw 2 already installed? Similar situation, main house, guest house. So yes, you can install them in a main house, guest house, the 2 different systems. The issue is that currently Radio Raw 2 has a different app than Caseta and Raw 2 Select. So it would be 2 different apps to do that. So the way to do that I would personally do if you were trying to do a new system would be a Raw 2 Select in the main house and Caseta in the guest house. Palmer, if you again have a current job, let us know. We can help you figure out a really good solution for that. How many repeaters can you use with Caseta? 1 repeater with Caseta that was just released within the last year. So we are really excited about that. That was one of our most asked for products. The new Caseta outdoor plug is not compatible with Raw 2 Select. That was again just released a couple months ago, and that is only in the Caseta line right now.
Okay.
Can Caseta be mixed with Raw 2 devices for client takeovers and upgrades? Gary, I'm not. So no, Caseta and Raw 2 devices cannot be mixed. So they are 2 different systems, unfortunately, so you can't mix those. Like I was saying before, if you have a Raw 2 Select system and you want to cross over into the Raw 2, it is really easy to do.
Yeah.
All you have to do is switch out the main repeaters and all of the dimmers stay the same. So that is one of the really awesome things about Raw 2 Select. Another one about the outdoor plug. No, it's not used with Raw 2. Something fun about Lutron is that we don't actually release any of our new products until the very day. I don't even know about product releases until they happen. So I do not know if there will be a version for Raw 2. Can the Picos be used in a wall, like to replace an older audio rust sound keypad? I don't know what a rust sound keypad is, but yes, they can replace a switch. So it's really easy if it's a 3-way application, something like that. All you have to do is cap off the wires in the back, and we actually have a wall box adapter to put your Pico onto a wall box. So super easy. It'll just look like a normal switch.
Yeah, John, I believe that's correct. You can switch that out.
Yeah. Another one about the outdoor plug. Guys, I know everyone is really, really excited about it. And so it's awesome. I really hope that it comes out in Select and Raw 2. Keep your eyes and ears open. And that's another really awesome reason to sign up for Lutron Pro, because you guys get the first updates on products by being a Lutron Pro. And we often ask you guys to test out products for us. So it's giving you another little nudge to sign up for the program. Does Lutron have an accommodations program? I moved a new home. Mark, reach out to us. We can talk about that.
Yeah, Mark, let me know where you're from, what distributor you're working with.
Yeah, we can get you connected.
I'll hook you guys. Yep.
Do the Pro Dimmers work with low voltage drivers? So, yep, the Pro Dimmers work with ELV, MLV, incandescent, halogen, CFL, LEDs. So all of them. We do have a full list online of every lighting control that every light that we have tested with our Pro Dimmers. So if you have a question about a specific manufacturer, specific light, we can check that out for you. The Caseta repeater does not replace the lamp dimmer. So that's a little secret. So the lamp dimmer used to be a mini repeater in Caseta, And then we added in a second auxiliary repeater, so it does not replace it. So plan your systems accordingly like that. And now you have 2 mini repeaters, but that's a little bit of a secret right now. Does Sonos Lutron integration with the non-Pro Caseta bridge? Yes, it does. So Sonos is one of those awesome integrators that works with all of our systems. The outdoor plug does not dim. I just believe it's on off right now. So another question about the lamp dimmer is the first extender. So yep, the lamp dimmer for Caseta, the first one that is put in there is technically a mini repeater. So plan your systems accordingly of which devices you add first. So like for mine, my first lamp dimmer I added was in my living room, which doesn't really work because that doesn't reach my back room. So plan your systems accordingly for extending your systems. All right. Oh, there's more. I lied. I thought I made it through. Any plans for a simple receptacle outlet? Very control from the app. So Terry, okay, let me read this. Any plans to offer a simple receptacle outlet that is entirely controlled from the app? Which system are you asking about, Terry? Are you asking about Caseta, Raw 2 Select? And what are they trying to hang off a standard receptacle that you don't want them to control? So send me an email.
Select.
Yeah, send me an email about that one, Terry, because I'm really curious about where you're going with that one. And again, I can send it off to the product managers. Palmer, yep, Raw 2 Select does have lamp dimmers. There is kind of a quote tool for Select and Caseta. Oh, you have my projects access. So yes, you can do Caseta and Raw 2 Select in my projects. So yep, if you guys don't have access to that, let me know. And it's a really great solution that we just did.
And you have to be a pro dealer for that? Access?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So you need to be a pro to get access to my projects. On DC Photomans. Yep. If you just want to do on off with DC Photomans, then go for it. Yep. You can just use a switch like that. All right. Now I think I made it through all of them.
Man, lightning round. Kate was on the hot seat for great job.
I know.
All right, guys, let's do a quick final words there. Kate, why don't you just take it really quick? Remember, I'm sending out an email, and that will include many things from Lutron anyway, as far as links to Pro Dealer, etc. So we'll get a recording out to this everybody. But thank you guys so much. Kate, last words for you.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully you guys will come do another training with us. We are having a lot of really cool product updates coming up from what I'm hearing. So we used to release everything at once in September. Now we're doing rolling releases. So let me know if you guys want to get added to any of those lists to get any new information coming out.
Yeah, and I'd like to reiterate some of the support that you were talking about with the rep firms. I know that that's the case here in California. So if anybody is needing that connection, please get with me. I'll find out exactly who you should be talking to. And as well, you have 26 Snap Pro stores at this point. Man, we just opened up, guys. I forgot to mention, thank you anybody joining us from Denver and Salt Lake City, and of course Scottsdale. It keeps growing. Florida as well, Washington DC in the future. We're going to continue to expand, and it's with partnerships is what we have is the reason why we're able to do this. Carl.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Gary, for having us. And Kate and Russ, always a pleasure. Yeah, we're looking forward to doing it this afternoon. Some really great questions came across. I would say anything you guys need, just reach out to your local Volume sales rep, or anyone on the Sonos side if you have our contact information. And always happy to do a collaboration like this. And it's really cool to be able to work with companies like Lutron and Volume. The partnerships are strong, so we appreciate it.
Well, like I said, we really feel, every time that I have brought Sonos into the picture, into the CI channel, you could see how, we both have a relationship that's going to continue to go forward. I would like to feel that my CI guys drive some of your R&D, drive some of the, the focus that you guys go into, because these guys they're true madmen out there. And even if the systems are easy, like I said earlier, the audio quality, what you guys have come up with is simply the best. And Kate, come on.
I know. I was in a crappy
Autonomous.
apartment before this. I'm in a nice one. I'm about to outfit it. So
Yeah, well, the big Rome release last night. You should have something, you know, FedEx to your doorstep, courtesy of the Sonos guys. I'm not saying that.
Oh,
Russell,
doable.
let's give a quick recap, my man. Great job today. Yes, we will be back in 4 more hours. So anybody on this call, please reach out to your team. We'll get back and do an afternoon, I don't know, twilight tailgating session. How about that for the theme? Russell, why don't you take us out, buddy? And thank you guys so much again.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, of course. You know, thanks everyone for joining. We try to make these sessions as educational as possible. I also just want to be as cool as Gary one day. And Kate, Kate, we got you covered. Don't worry, we'll get you something.
yeah.
True partnerships, you guys. It's certainly, yeah, for the education department, as we kind of all are in, and we talked about new dealers approaching us as this thing continues to expand and roll forward, what we're up against, what the dealers are up against, the branding that you guys have done and spend your money on, and we're truly able to represent in the Snap world, the Snap Pro stores, bigger and better things. But guys, thank you guys so much. I'm going to start working on the email. I will see everybody back here in 4 more hours. Carl, Russell, and Kate, I thank you guys so much. Everyone, be safe out there. It's busy, but it's coming our way. All right, guys.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, everybody.
bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.